Metal Jesus here, and I am back again with Kacey. How's it going, dude?
Pretty good.
Dude, it's awesome having you here on the channel because we're doing a Wii buying guide. And when I was thinking about the people who'd be perfect for this, well, there was only one name. And that name was you because you own all of the Wii games.
Yeah, I do, and today we're going to talk about all the console variations, the accessories that you can pick up for the Wii, some of the rare titles, and a handful of games that we selected for day one purchases.
This is going to be an awesome video. You guys are going to love it. Let's take a look.
Alright, this is the original Wii, and this is my personal original Wii. That's why it's all beat up, but it's got a lot of gameplay in it. And when it first came out, it was 2006 during the holiday season. And it was so popular that people were waiting in line.
I remember that. That's right. Yeah, people were going crazy trying to resell them and buy them for like $1,000 or something.
The thing is, it was 250 bucks when it first came out, and people were selling it for $500, $700. It was crazy. Because Nintendo's plan was make something that was family oriented. Something that your grandma can pick up and play. Right? So eventually people started getting these and they were like, wow, this is amazing, and there were shortages.
Yeah, like, I remember that actually. That's funny, huh?
On purpose? Who knows?
Yeah, well, so the first model is one of my favorites because it is the one that will play GameCube games, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you had an instant library of 500 games because it played all the GameCube titles. And the cool thing is, it has all 4 GameCube ports, 2 memory card slots. Yeah. So it's perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Huh, that's cool. Now, how does this hold up though? I mean, that's your original, does it still play?
Yeah, it does. It still reads discs, doesn't have any problems with that. It came bundled with the Wii Sports, which is still one of the best games for the system because everybody can just pick up and play.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely a perfect pack-in, right? Just anybody can play it, have a lot of fun. Now, how about as far as connecting it to like your television? Like what are the video outs and stuff like that?
It came with composite cables, so the RCA cables.
So that's just the yellow, right?
Yeah, just the yellow, red, and white. But you can upgrade to component. Right. So you can have, I believe, 480p on this. Yeah,
which looks pretty decent on a modern HD television, so.
Yeah, but you can actually upgrade to the Wii 2 HDMI, and this is a third-party
adapter, essentially.
Yeah, adapter that you can just plug in the back, and then you plug in your HDMI cable in here.
You showed me this and I immediately wanted one. I had no idea something like that existed.
It's so cheap, it's like $5 to $10.
Oh, I'm so buying one. That is awesome. So, okay, so the original model had obviously full GameCube support. Did it always have that, or what did the other models have?
Well, the other model, let's talk about that. So this is the blue Wii, and this got released in 2011. And it was titled the Family Edition. Oh,
I've seen that name. Okay.
And it was released during the holiday season again, and I think they did that so that they can have a cheaper Wii. Because this did not come with a stand, so they saved like $1.
Yeah.
And it didn't have GameCube compatibility.
Oh, okay.
So you can't open this flip top, no ports. And another thing is all the labels, they're horizontal, so it's meant to stand like this when you play it.
That's a good point, actually, is that the Wii originally would be either or, right? Like vertical, which seemed like almost the way to do it. Like when they would show it on camera, the Wii would be vertical.
Exactly, and that's why it came with the stand when the original Wii came out.
Okay, interesting. And so, so the Family Edition, they got rid of all the GameCube stuff to save money. But as far as everything else, it still works and plays the same?
Yeah, it still has the SD card slot, it still has internet connectivity. Just no GameCube compatibility.
And then a couple of years later, they surprised everyone and released this model.
Wii Mini.
Yeah.
And it's not that much smaller than the Wii. I mean, if you compare the two, the same height, the same width, it's just an inch shorter in length.
Why do you think they did this? I mean, what was changed about it?
The thing is, it has that retro factor.
It does. It almost looks like something from the 70s or early 80s, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it has a top loader.
Which a lot of companies do. I mean, where at the end of a console's life, maybe to save money, maybe to cut down on wear and tear. I don't know.
Exactly. It's a little bit lighter, and it's missing a lot of features. One of them being the ability to connect to the internet.
What? Okay, so that's really weird because obviously Nintendo had a ton of success with the Wii Virtual Console, right? I mean, why would they do that? To save like $1?
Now, this is my guess. This was a Canadian exclusive. So in 2012, it was released in Canada for like $100.
I remember that because I couldn't buy it here, right?
Yeah, and I was bummed out because I really wanted this. But little did I know it was missing a lot of features. And I believe the reason is they have some cottages in Canada where there's no internet connection.
I see.
So it's best to just buy one of these, leave it there.
Yeah.
So it's a vacation home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, almost like for, well, not hotels, but yeah, like little vacation things. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, and there's other features missing. There's no SD slot.
Okay.
So you can't expand your memory.
But it has internal for probably the storage.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the other thing is, there's only one USB port in the back.
Oh, okay. Huh. Maybe that affects games like, say, Rock Band or something like that, right?
Correct.
Huh.
And if you want to connect on a hard drive to the back,
right,
I mean, you're using up a slot.
Huh. Okay. So not a great console, but it's out there if you run across it.
Yeah. And also there's no GameCube backwards compatibility. That's another thing.
Such a bummer. I know. Okay. Well, that is the consoles. Let's take a look at the accessories.
All right.
Well, let's start with the original controller.
Well, this is the original controller. This is the Wiimote and the nunchuck. And you would just connect the nunchuck to the bottom of the Wiimote. And the cool thing about the Wiimote, besides the fact that it's a motion sensor, is there's a little speaker here.
That's right.
So when you're swinging it, you can have a little sound effects.
Yeah.
Some people don't like that, but I think it's a little quirky.
I like it, yeah. And that's the other thing that we should probably mention is that there is a Wii bar that attaches to the Wii that sits in front of your television. So you will need that if you grab a Wii.
Exactly. If you buy one from the garage sale, make sure it does have that Wii sensor bar because you need it to use the Wiimote.
The other thing that's interesting about the Wii from playing games is also that a lot of them were sort of these motion, but a lot of them just simply said, hey, turn it sideways. And it works as a pretty functional old school controller. Yeah,
and that's the cool thing about it because they really made it family oriented because all the old school players, they want to play games like this. They don't want to be swinging the Wiimote and hitting the TV. Yeah, exactly. So this is the first version. Now, what's really interesting about it though is that when the motion tracking came out, it was good, but it was limited for sure. Exactly. And so what they released is the Wii MotionPlus Adapter, right? Is that what this thing's called? Correct. Yeah, which is basically, it gives more functionality to that controller. Yeah, and it's an attachment that came out. It was like $20 or $25, but you would just attach it to the bottom and you could still, I'm having trouble attaching it, but I think it's got little buttons on the side. Yeah, once you attach it, there you go. You can also attach the nunchuck controller to the bottom. Yeah. But what it does is it makes it clunky. It's a bit long and huge. It's not as elegant, is it? And, exactly. And I even have like these gel things that are extra long and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah. But it does help with the turn and the gyroscopic motion of the Wiimote because of this added attachment. And there were some games that definitely take advantage of it. The one that comes to my mind is Real Steel or something like that? It's Real Steel 2. Right. And it's light years better than the original game. It just seems much more sort of one-to-one movement. Correct. Same with Skyward Sword. Right, right. But then later, they, of course, integrated that. Yes, and it is a much better design in a couple ways. So you don't have the extra attachment, and also in the back, there's a sync button that you could just press outside of the Wii. Oh, that's right, because when you're gonna sync these controllers, you have to, it's in the battery compartment, isn't it? Yes, you gotta open the back, you gotta press the button, but this is so much better. You just press it on the outside. Huh, that's cool. And there's several variations of this controller. Now, this is a little rubber attachment here though, right? Correct. Just for grip, whatever. Exactly. And most of it does come with these additional Wii covers, especially when you get the Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach ones. I see, okay. Yeah. And there's also a Zelda one that came with Skyward Sword. Oh, okay. I remember people freaking out about that. Yeah, that one was rare.
That's cool. So that's the normal controller, but then Nintendo also released a bunch of controllers. Kind of, I mean, why do you think they did? So what is that one right there?
This is the Wii Classic controller.
Okay.
And the purpose of this is for games that you want to use for virtual consoles, maybe some WiiWare games, ones that don't use the motion controls.
Don't you think that Nintendo in some ways was perhaps surprised by the success of the Wii Virtual Console? You know, because I mean, they put out hundreds, if not thousands of games on that. I mean, it did really well.
It did, and that's just so much money for them because they don't have to release physical copies.
Right.
It's just straight downloads.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect controller for it because it's kind of like a Super Nintendo controller, so it has that old nostalgic feel to it.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
Huh.
But they improved upon it when they released the Pro controller.
Pro.
In my opinion, it's better because it's more ergonomic.
It looks like an Xbox 360 controller almost.
Yeah, that or a PS2, but those are excellent controllers.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And one thing is, it's the analog sticks are spread out a little bit further compared to the classic controller.
Oh, is it? Okay, interesting.
So it has a really good feel to it, even the top buttons.
Does that have any motion built into it?
No.
Okay, so it's simply just for playing, you know, normal games, I guess is what you'd say.
Yeah, it came out with Monster Hunter Tri, I believe. It came bundled with that.
Huh, okay. And then you mentioned earlier that there were these kind of snap-on adapter things for the Wii remote, right?
Yeah, and this is one of them. This is the Wii Wheel, and you would simply take the Wii remote and just insert it, and it becomes a totally new controller.
Yeah.
It's fun for racing games because you could just hold it and kind of
like Mario
turn.
Kart. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then also there was, like, say, the Wii Zapper, because Light-Gun games are awesome on the Wii, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
And so that was kind of a similar thing where you'd snap it in there. And we don't have the Wii Zapper here, but you've got something I think is even cooler.
Yeah, this is cool. This is the Cabela's Big Game Hunter shotgun.
That's awesome. Just like, you know, hold up your shoulder. That's killer. Any other accessories out there? I mean, we mentioned sort of like the third-party ones, but... Yeah,
there's a bunch of Nerf accessories where you could attach a tennis racket or a baseball bat or boxing gloves to your Wii remote. All right, and we have the Wii Fit, which came packaged with the Wii balance board.
This was huge, right?
Yeah, it was a huge success.
Yeah.
In the Guinness Book of World Records, it was like the #1 selling scale.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it's a game peripheral, not really a scale. But this game that came packaged with it, it came with 30 different fun activities. It would test your strength, your balance, your flexibility, things like that. And it would calculate your BMI index, your body mass index.
Now, and I haven't played this clearly, but have you done this before?
Yeah.
And so do you use the remote or the Wii mode as well with it, or how's it work?
Yes, you can. There's actually a Wii Fit Plus version where you really use the Wii remote and nunchuck along with the balance board.
Okay. Huh. That's cool. And you also find those all the time, like in thrift stores. And...
Yeah, and you can find them for $2 to $5.
Yeah.
I mean, $10 at the most.
Yeah.
But there's other games that the balance board uses. One of them, which is a really good title, is Punch-Out.
It uses it. How does it do that?
Well, you could use it with just the Wiimote and nunchuck, or just the Wiimote itself. But you could integrate the Wii balance board and use it to duck, to dodge left and right.
Oh, interesting. So it's measuring like your movement.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. Huh.
And there are some bad examples, including Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll.
That sounds bad.
Yeah,
Step and roll.
It is so hard to control it with the Wii balance board.
I bet.
It's too tight.
Oh, okay. So you're like moving the plane, essentially, the environment.
Exactly. You're trying to move the monkey ball, but if you're using the balance board, it's just too tight for turns.
Huh.
So it's hard to collect all the bananas. It's hard to progress through the levels.
Yeah. Now, when I showed up here in the spot, you had a bike.
Yeah, and that is the Wii Cyberbike.
Cyberbike.
It came packaged with Cyberbike Cycle Sports. And the cool thing about this is when it first came out, it was only sold on the QVC shopping network, so it was really hard to find.
Okay.
I didn't get it right away. I searched for a couple years and eventually I got one via trade.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an amazing piece, but it's only meant for this game.
Yeah, I mean, it takes up so much room.
Yeah, so you go around the world collecting trash in this game, but there's also an exercise mode, so you could just cycle.
See, having to store that is punishment for trying to go for a complete collection, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is too funny. All right, well, that is some of the accessories. Let's check out some of the more rare or collectible games.
All right, let's talk about just a handful, maybe 3 games that are pretty rare. So if you go out garage sailing or at thrift stores and you find this for cheap, like $5–10 bucks, pick it up because it is hard to find games like Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
This was a GameStop exclusive, which makes it tough to find.
Right.
And it's a Japanese RPG game with 70+ hours of gameplay, so it's definitely worth it. Another RPG strategy type game is Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
These games are really fun.
Yeah, they're really good quality, even for all the previous Nintendo systems.
Yeah.
So there's a good following for that game. And lastly, you'll be surprised, but My Horse and Me, Riding for Gold.
Yeah, you mentioned this, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's made by Atari, and I don't know why, but it is a really rare and expensive title.
Huh. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, and then now, at the end here, let's get into some games that we recommend you pick up day one.
Yeah. All right, the first one is called Spyborgs. It's made by Capcom, and it's a beat-em-up game. Yeah, the cool thing about this is there's massive bosses, and there's 2-player co-op missions.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's a really cheap game, $5–10, so definitely pick it up if you find it.
Now, does this support the classic controller, or it seems like it would?
No, unfortunately it doesn't.
Okay, so maybe now's a good time to point out that on these games, over in, on the back somewhere, it'll tell you what controller it supports.
Yes, so, including GameCube controllers, if it does support that.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, love the cover.
Next one is ExciteBots Trick Racing, which is the sequel to Excite Trucks.
Yeah, so when we were picking out games, I was like, ooh, we got to put this one in there because this is so much fun.
Yeah, it's a really good racing game, and you get to play as an animal robot or insect, and there's like 25 different levels, and they're actual locations on Earth. That's another cool part. I
didn't know that. I think for me, the thing that surprised me about this game was how well it uses the motion controls.
Yes.
Yeah,
some people complain about it, but you just gotta take 5 minutes and get used to it.
Yeah.
And once you get used to it, all the tricks and all the jumps, it becomes second nature.
Oh yeah, such a fun game.
Next is another racing game that's a must-have, which is Mario Kart for Wii. And the reason why I like this is because the battle arenas for the battle mode is way better compared to the Wii U version, which uses just the normal tracks. So this takes it back to the old Super Nintendo and N64 days.
Oh, cool.
Next one is Boom Blox Bash Party, which is an awesome 4-player party game. It's a combination of Jenga and Angry Birds. It just uses the Wii motion controllers really well for this game.
Now, I noticed that you picked the second one, which I haven't played this one. There's 2 of them actually. Is there a big difference between them? Or?
Yeah, just more party modes.
Oh, I see. Okay,
yeah, so cool. It's more fun.
Yeah, okay.
Donkey Kong Country Returns. Now this one can be challenging, but it just brings you back to the old Super Nintendo days of Donkey Kong Country. That's why it was one of my picks.
I see. Yeah, I've heard it's tough.
Yes, you'll get frustrated, but it's well worth it.
That's cool.
Another one that's good is WarioWare Smooth Moves. So if you're familiar with the series for GBA, for DS, GameCube, this is another one. And there's tons of micro games in here that are just weird and quirky, instant gratification games. And those are the type of games I like. Just pick up and play. Yeah,
I'm surprised how much I enjoy this series. And it's occasionally so bizarre, like when the nose and it's like got the drip coming out of it. And you're just like, what? What's going on here?
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
I know, it is. It's super fun.
And I had to include these. These are the Mario Party Galaxy games, 1 and 2.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Super Mario Galaxy. And it's,
so you're still in party mode.
Yeah. Oh, what did I say? Mario Party?
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. And these are just amazing. The level designs in these are just really great. And the soundtrack's awesome. I've
been trying to find a copy of 2. But it's still really expensive. Well, not expensive, but you know what I mean? It holds its value.
Yeah, it's still in the $20–$30 range.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. But it's a good game, so it's Totally worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Another cool one is Resident Evil Wii Edition. This is the 4th installment, so Resident Evil 4. And this is a port of the GameCube version and the PS2 version, but this is the better version. This has HD graphics, and using the Wii motion controllers, it's really good because you can point and shoot. And you can move with the nunchuck.
Probably a little bit easier. I mean, the original game, I beat it, but you know, you're always kind of struggling to get it right on the head, right?
Yeah, and that's perfect for the Wii because a lot of kids play it, and people that want to experience using the Wii motion controllers, this is a really good game to use it for.
That. This is a game I own, and I love this game.
Yeah, Sin and Punishment. The N64 version was great, and this Star Successor is also good. It's a really good rail shooter, as you can attest.
Yeah, so much fun. And what I like about this game too is that it's a rail shooter, but it really uses the nunchuck in interesting ways because you're constantly bouncing around and dodging, and it's way more in depth than the typical kind of rail shooter, which is what I like. So
yeah, and there's 2 players. I haven't had a chance to try 2-player mode yet, but I was wondering if it got tougher.
We should do that after this video.
Yeah. And I had to include a Kirby game, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. And as all Kirby games are, you have all the special powers. This one has 25, including some of the old retro super power-ups, and you can have up to 4 players in co-op mode.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and the thing I like about this is at the very end, once you beat it, there's a boss rush mode, so you can go through all the bosses.
Okay, that's cool. I played Kirby's Epic Yarn on the Wii, and I really like that one too.
Yeah.
It's a little bit on the easy side, but I just enjoyed that so much.
Yeah, and this one you could play as Meta Knight.
That's cool.
And lastly, we have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which was released 25 years after the original Zelda on the Nintendo. Yeah, and this is great because it came with a soundtrack. The 25th anniversary symphony soundtrack. If you got the big box version, you also got the Zelda Wiimote.
That's right.
So they gave you lots of cool extras for this Wii exclusive. And there's like 40+ hours of gameplay, and it really utilizes the Wii motion controller, which I like.
Well, again, it's Nintendo's console. They know how to do it right, you know?
Yeah, and you could even fly in this one, but the swimming part's kind of tough with the Wii motion.
Okay. Huh. Well, dude, that's an awesome buying guide there. At the end, though, I do want to mention that while we covered kind of the more popular games, I do have a series of Wii hidden gems where I dig way deeper into it and cover some of the other games that are on the Wii that are actually really fun, because there are some.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden gems. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing about the Wii is that once you kind of dive into it, it's a really fun console to collect for. I love it. I mean, I was really surprised. I didn't expect to.
Yeah, I mean, I was there from day one, and I'll be there until the last game gets released.
That's very cool. Dude, thanks very much for coming on and doing this buying guide. It's so awesome. Where can people find you on the interweb?
KacyDaGameNerd on Instagram and Facebook.
And he has a YouTube channel, and you do pickups videos.
Yeah, I do pickups videos. Actually, everything's all pickup videos on my channel, so if you don't like that...
But he happens to have some of the most impressive pickups videos in all of YouTube.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Appreciate that.
Awesome, guys. All right, well, thank you very much for subscribing. Thanks for watching my channel, and take care. If you like this video, then you are in luck because I put out new videos every week. As a matter of fact, I put out 2 of them every single week. I put them out on Tuesdays and Fridays on my YouTube channel, so make sure and subscribe. Also, check out Facebook and Twitter, and why not just go check out MetalJesusRocks.com? It's pretty cool.